You know that feeling of being completely trapped by endless paperwork or some totally nonsensical rule? Well, you are definitely not alone. And what's crazy is that a writer from a century ago, a guy named Franz Kafka, pretty much predicted the exact kind of bureaucratic nightmare we're all living in today.
I mean, really think about it. Have you ever been on hold or just staring at some online form and you just feel completely lost? Like you're caught in this web of rules that make zero sense? It's that feeling, right? That you're just a number being crunched by a system that's way too big and confusing to even try and figure out.
Yeah, I thought so. We've all been there. It's that sinking feeling you get trying to figure out healthcare forms or dealing with some ridiculous corporate policy. And don't even get me started on arguing with customer service bots. It's this uniquely modern kind of frustration. And believe it or not, it actually has a name. And that name is Kafkaesque. You've probably heard the one thrown around. It's for any situation that's characterized by these illogical, surreal, and honestly kind of menacingly complex bureaucratic procedures. It's not just that it's complicated, it's that the complication itself feels like a weapon. So where does this wild idea even come from?
Well, it comes from the author I mentioned before, Franz Kafka, and two of his most famous and, frankly, nightmare-inducing novels. So you have The Trial, where this guy gets arrested and put through this whole legal process for a crime that no one will ever tell him he committed. And then there's The Castle, about a man who just wants to get to the castle to do his job, but he's blocked at every single turn by the most bizarre, circular bureaucracy you can imagine. Starting to sound a little familiar, right?
So what's the real core of this nightmare? I mean, what makes it so awful? It's not just that it's slow or inefficient. No, it's the absurd, circular logic. It's those impenetrable systems that are impossible to understand. It's the way it makes you feel totally alienated, like you as an individual just don't matter. You lose all your personal agency, and it almost feels like the system is designed to strip away your very identity.
And the result of all this is, well, it's this weird kind of dark humor, isn't it? You find yourself trapped in a system that's so fundamentally designed to confuse you, so completely nonsensical, that sometimes all you can do is laugh. It's that you can't make this stuff up feeling.
Now, you'd think technology would have fixed all this, right? I mean, that was the promise. Efficiency, simplicity. But that's the great digital paradox. Instead of solving the problem, technology has often just created all new invisible layers of complexity, mazes that are even harder to navigate because you can't even see the walls.
It's really the same problem, just a different century. So in Kafka's fiction, his poor characters were literally lost in these endless, confusing physical corridors filled with paper. Today, that's our reality, but the maze is digital. We're getting lost in opaque algorithms and automated AI decisions. It's the same labyrinth, just made of code instead of concrete.
Okay, just look at this so-called simple four-step process. I mean, on the surface, it looks kind of doable, but each step is a total black box. Submit Form 7B, okay? Await algorithmic pre-approval. What does that even mean? What is the algorithm looking for? Then you have to address system-flagged inconsistencies. Which ones? Why were they flagged? And the grand finale? A decision from an opaque committee. Who are these people? This is a perfect example of a modern Kafkaesque trap. The procedure itself is the real obstacle. And let's be clear, this isn't just annoying. It's not just an inconvenience. There is a very, very real human cost to all this. Dealing with these systems day in and day out causes real anxiety and this deep, grinding frustration. There's even a term for it, administrative burnout. It just leaves you feeling totally powerless, and it makes you lose faith in the very systems that are supposed to be there to help us.
And that leads to a pretty chilling question, doesn't it? With all this data-driven decision-making and predictive modeling, are we all just becoming Joseph K. from The Trial? Are we all being judged by these invisible systems based on data we don't control, for reasons that are never, ever explained to us? Okay, but it's not all doom and gloom. We're not totally powerless here. So how do we find the exit to this maze? Well, step one is just recognizing the Kafkaesque when you see it. Call it out for what it is. Then we have to advocate for clarity and transparency, demand answers. And finally, we can and should champion human-centered design, this idea that systems should be built for actual people, not the other way around.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Look, changing a huge, complex system feels impossible, but it always starts with small acts. So think about it. What's one small way you can push back? What's one small way you can demand just a little bit more clarity in your world today?